Pokemon Twilight Wings continues to amaze as today's episode shows off the true best girl of the Gala region, Oleana. Hey, this is GatorEX, and yes, we finally got episode 5 of Pokemon Twilight Wings after being delayed. We finally got it, yes, June 4th as promised, at the very end of June 4th, but let's go ahead and discuss it today. Now, this episode is titled Assistant. It's really great, and like I said, it focuses on Oleana and is kind of a testament to Pokemon Twilight Wings as a whole and how it shows off how it shows more of these characters and builds them right. Because I'll be genuinely honest, playing through Pokemon Sword and Shield, I wasn't a huge fan of Oleana. I thought, her character was interesting, but, ultimately outshined by everyone else in the region. But we see here in this episode some of her story, what she does. She's basically literally just working in this whole episode. And, it's kind of a testament to Pokemon Twilight Wings yet again in how it can be interesting. It's a Pokemon animated series, but this whole episode was just following a woman as she worked in an office. But what's interesting, though, it starts off with some backstory as well, which is something we didn't exactly get a whole lot of in Pokemon Twilight Wings. We saw a bit of characters here and there, before their journey, but it looks like we get to see Oleana as she starts off, basically. And it starts off in a research facility as they're researching Gigantamax, probably Dynamax as a whole as well. We get to see some interesting tidbits here and there. Looks like they're working on the big Pokeball to catch a Pokemon. Looks like they're also, there's a wishing piece there that Trubbish is looking at. And again, this is Oleana's Trubbish that eventually becomes a Garbodor, and we get to see Oleana working here as well. And her design is different too, which, again, something neat, like an anime exclusive look at what she was like before she was Chairman Rose's assistant while she's a researcher here while working. And honestly, I like this design better, but obviously she's the only one who's like really invested in everything, and it's pretty obvious how intelligent she is just in how she's explaining things. To where, and on top of that, everybody ends up leaving for a while, and she's the only one there. And Chairman Rose walks in, of course, is really impressed by everything, and that's where they meet. And so then it cuts forward to modern day or present day, where she's the assistant, or not assistant, where she's basically like the vice president there, just basically running everything. And we get to see her here and there around the office as she mentions that Chairman Rose isn't going to be in the office today, but let's all, do our job and everything. And like I said, a majority of the episode is just her working, but we really do get to see, just how much she does. I'm surprised that I'm surprised that her shoulders are still intact after carrying the entire company. She's involved in like everything too, like overseeing discussing stuff about the gyms, overseeing some construction and the mining that we see in Galar, which is interesting. It's really neat, and we get to see some Pokemon here in the office. But like I said, that's a good portion of the episode. What's neat though is it ties in also to some of the reveals, right? We see them discussing the research that was going on with Galarian Ponyta. Now, as we know, the live stream for Galarian Ponyta, that was in lore, right? That was set up by Sonia. But it looks like they're discussing some of her research findings there. And eventually a Rotom does get into one of the systems, and she just shows up and just gets rid of it, or resolves the issue just very quickly. But what's interesting is that is also a reference to what happened with the Galarian Farfetch'd reveal, in that they said, oh, hey, yeah, there's a new Pokemon on the website, but there was a Rotom glitch or whatever. So it's kind of neat that it's also tying into some of the reveals for Pokemon that happened in our real life. So it's just neat how everything connects. So at the end of the day, she's out somewhere just finishing up some business. And as she's walking home, which, by the way, we get to see Piers in the background as she's walking home, just chilling out. We saw Marnie just in the background in the last episode. I'm waiting for when we get their episode, them together. But as she's walking home, it's really neat too, because we get some lore, some establishment, some world building, I guess, in that we just see Pokemon just hanging out, just chilling. One of my favorite things is the Pumpkaboo just hanging and chilling, but also serving as a lantern, which, I love. We'd normally expect, maybe the Litwick line to just be chilling out and illuminating some stuff, but Pumpkaboo, I love Pumpkaboo. It's really great. I wonder what size this one is. But also we get to see, and there's some music playing too, just in the background, but we find out that music is from a street performer with an accordion and a tap dancing Mr. Rhyme, which, by the way, Mr. Mime is one of my favorite recent Pokemon, not favorite, but recently a Pokemon that I've really come to like, especially with the anime, the main series anime that I've been discussing and reviewing. And Mr. Rhyme, you know, I think Mr. Rhyme's pretty cool, but as she's walking, she runs into Chairman Rose, who was in the Corviknight taxi, and he offers, you know, hey, you want to just ride back to the office together? So, kind of a nice end to her day, and he recognizes her for just everything she's doing. He straight up says, like, you could just run the company without me. So, you know, they just have a nice moment together in the cab as they're riding home. Interesting thing is the taxi guy, there's a battle going on in the gym. He's all like, oh, hey, check it out there. Aren't Dynamax Pokemon great? And Oleana just goes into, well, not, she's constantly in the smart mode. And she's like, yeah, no, those aren't Dynamax Pokemon. Those are Gigantamax Pokemon. And she just goes on and on explaining to him, which rightfully so. There's a difference, sir. And Chairman Rose just kind of glances at her and has a bit of a flashback to her when she was, you know, the young, the younger researcher. So it's just a really nice episode, and that's how it caps off. That's how it ends. And like I said, it's so strange to think that you know, previous Pokemon Twilight Wings episodes, you know, even the first one focused on kids in a hospital, and had not that it had nothing to do with Pokemon, but it had honestly very little. The other episodes did have you know, did build on some characters, and Pokemon were relatively central. But this episode, like I said, just straight up, it was a woman going about her day in an office as she's working, and they're calling that a Pokemon episode, which of course it is. And honestly, that's why I love Twilight Wings so much. You know, aside from the animation, which the animation is gorgeous, just diving more into these characters and showing them off. And like I said, I think the big thing was we got to see some backstory to Oleana as well, in that, like, and obviously what's interesting, well, okay, you know, with the appearance that she has, you know, how she dresses, it's so different from how she was originally. I guess, you know, there's a thing of, like, you know, you're in a different position, you're in a different job, you know, you're basically like the second at this company, so you gotta keep up appearance and everything. But it's so interesting to see that, you know, it kind of makes some sense, I guess. This look isn't, maybe not that it doesn't fit her character, but, like, she's extremely smart, extremely competent, and just very focused, right? She knows what she wants to do, and I think it's interesting because then I guess it kind of plays into the games, right? With how she's just very dead set on ensuring Chairman Rose's plan follows through, and you know, this episode serves as a companion piece to the games as a whole. Well, they all do, but this one, I think especially, it not fixed her character, but it just showed us more of this character. And like I said, it's interesting because this is a perspective that honestly we really wouldn't get even, you know, in the game. How would we get this in the game? Because in the game, we're the player character going on our own journey. How are we supposed to know what the daily life is like for a character like Oleana? And you know, that's why I like Twilight Wings. It's really good. But anyway, that's basically the episode. Let me know what you think. If you, well, obviously you probably saw it. It's here on YouTube on the Pokemon channel. It didn't show up in my sub feed. Really interesting. So you might have to go look for it. It's a bit of a, I don't want to say a mess, but just with how it was posted. Like I said, you know, it was supposed to come out yesterday, June 4th, and technically it did here on the Pacific Standard Time zone. It technically did come out June 4th. Everywhere else, maybe not exactly. But going forward, the Twilight Wings is going to get back on track. The main series anime is going to get back on track. So we're going to have more of these reviews, and I think that's really cool. So let me know what you think of the format as we're going forward with this format. Probably going to stick with this for most everything else. But anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like, subscribe. You can enable notifications by clicking that bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out, and will make you a member of the Chingling Squad, which I realize I've been saying that. I don't know if I should keep that. Let me know if I should keep Chingling Squad things. But anyway, this has been GatorEX. Have a nice day.